accept you. The question I put forward to you is, do we have a soul? This is a spiritual question. There is a belief in religion that we are more than just ourselves. We have a soul. And that idea comes from the fact that after we die, if we have a soul, then our soul carries on. So there's some part of us which doesn't die. And that is important if you want something of you to carry on after you die. Then there must be some entity, like a soul, that continues. So my interpretation of do we have a soul is, does our existence continue after we die? And that's an interesting question. And part of an interest in that is that why does the soul have to be synonymous with the afterlife? Why can't you have some sort of deeper sense of self beyond matter and be mortal? That is an interesting thing, and maybe that is part of some people's view on life, that there is more to the human body than just skin and bones and DNA and bacteria and stuff. There's more to us than what we're made of. There's some entity. Do we have a soul? So in that sense, having a soul is, do you believe in a deeper sense of self, or a personality that goes beyond just body matter? And I like to think, yes, we have a soul, in both interpretations that I've given you. In the interpretation that there's a greater sense of self, and also in the interpretation of something carries on after we die. So we have a soul entity that gives us life and continues after we die. I like that. Evidence for it. Well, let's view the reality where we don't have a soul, where we are just matter and we are just what we're made of. And in that world, you open to some weird scenarios where if somebody were to replicate every atom in your body and in some other form, then they'd be exactly the same. So much so, they would do everything the same. Because if you're exactly the same, then everything you do is the same. But how can that be when they're occupying different space? And there will be different environments. And that leads to the not having a soul, to the thing that... please go in. Yes, thank you. I got an assist there. But... yeah, so if you could get fully replicated, then somebody could be the same as you in every way, and that would just be a bit weird. And also, if you don't have a soul, then it basically your consciousness, if it's just can be replicated, your consciousness, it can be uploaded to a computer. And to think that we can just be put into the forms of binary ones and zeros, these are the implications without a soul. So for me, the reason to have a soul is to avoid the human nature being some sort of replicative, like something that can be replicated, something that isn't beyond the matter. So I think having a soul deepens our sense of self, also gives you positivity that you can continue after you die, and it's quite a nice thing to believe that humans are some way special. But is this just a ridiculous extension of my reality to say that I'm special as well, because our whole reality is just unique to our experiences, and then I take some extrapolation like, oh yeah, we must be special, we must have a soul, when really we may not be that special. And to say that we have a soul and we're living on a planet, and to say that we're the only species is just a bit you know, upping your own self-worth there. Like, if we have a soul, then do cats and dogs have a soul? Do monkeys have a soul? And if you believe in evolution, then you're obviously going to be tending towards a reality without souls, because you think, well, we're just, you know, evolved from single cell organisms, and we're just in essence just a result of lots of DNA mutations, and there's nothing special about us, and there's no so how can I convince people to believe that we have a soul? Well, I think it's to just to, you know, if you have confidence in your personality, and you have a sense of self, and you feel, and if you believe in meaning of a higher dimension, then and if you believe in morality, then I think believing in a soul adds to that and gives our life a special meaning, which I think is important. And I think it makes sense, and after all, logic makes sense. So believing in a soul, if it makes sense, then why not? Thank you for watching that Rocket League question time. I scored a goal, but we lost 4-3, but that's okay. Thank you for watching. 500 points. I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Ciao. Bye now.